time is nigh, friends, for lunch songs live. As soon as I can play the intro. So pale and sincere, underneath, you know well, you have nothing to fear, but the dreams that came to you when so young, told of a life spring is sprung. Ooh, you would seem so frail in the cold of the night, where the armies of emotion go out to fight, and while the earth sinks to its grave, you'd sail to the sky on the crest of a wave. So forget this cruel world where I belong. I'll just sit and wait and sing my song. And if one day you should see me in the crowd, lend your hand and lift me to your place in the clouds. Hey Brad, Kyle, and Emily Ann, what's up? Thanks for watching. Thanks for the delay. So I'm gonna do a song that so that song I just played was by Nick Drake. It's called Cello Song, and kind of after the fact I realized I'd stolen a lot of finger picking from him, and my song, I have a song called There's a Bird, which I'm about to play, and it's got a pretty similar finger picking pattern, so I thought I would do it now. Hey, what up, Brad Bush? Thanks for watching. Richie, happening, Richie Young? So yeah, this is called "There's a Bird," and my band. I shouldn't say my band. They're people that happen to make music with me. I sent them some folky demos a while back, and they've been very generously working on them, and with the instructions of please turn these into anything but folk songs. So they've been screwing them up in really awesome ways. And this song is one of those songs, so it probably, when it comes out, won't sound like this, but I'm excited for what it will be.
There's a bird who fishes with a rope tied around its little bird throat. Catches everything it can, brings it to the man standing on his little wooden boat. By habit, I'm still waking up at 4, 'cause that's when I got used to Linda coming through the door. I heat up something from the fridge, talk about the bills and kids, trade the keys, and then I drive out to the shore. Danny said a real man provides, that the pressure and the purpose is his biggest point of pride. But the people we work for are paying less, keeping more, so I can't afford a funeral for my bride. But there's a bird who fishes with a rope tied around its little bird throat. Catches everything it can, brings it to the man standing on his little wooden boat. Some people work their fingers to the bone, other people share an office and feel equally alone. Some roll $20 bills to buy a sandwich bag of pills, leaves them empty as the summer people's homes. Woo! On the best of days, I can sleep till 5. Throw an Eggo in the toaster, eat it while I drive. Hope my daughters, they can make their own breakfast, and by 8 they're waiting for a school bus to arrive. There's a bird who fishes with a rope tied around its little bird throat, and the granting of that wish just to have one little fish dangles like an unresolved note. Well, there's a bird who fishes with a rope tied around its little bird throat. And I guess that you could say it was captive to the ways. It preferred a little certainty to hope.
I think it's time to tune my guitar. while I tell you a story, perhaps. Let's see. Let's switch back here. So, I don't know if you could see, on that previous little slide, I don't know if you could see my hats over here. I've got all these random hats. They're not random. They're meaningful hats to me. Got my Women's March pussy hat. And when I want to pretend I'm Freddie Mercury hat. And this is a very special hat to me. It's my dad's Green Beret. He was an actual Green Beret. He didn't buy this at a Halloween costume shop. And then the reason these two hats are very funny to me next to each other is because I'm showing the wrong camera. Here you go, over here, Green Beret. My mom, who is a fairly traditional, conservative kind of person whose favorite decade of all was the 1950s, and who the other day, when my daughter asked her if you could live in any time period and kind of be stuck there, where would it be? And she said the 1950s, which is perfect for my mom. So against type, she went to Cuba a couple weeks ago, like 3 weeks ago, and my dad passed away a few years ago, and she's been very, in my eyes, heroic in facing her grief and being open with her emotions and with her pain, but also being like super daring. And she's gone to Europe for like 2 weeks, and she's going back to Europe, and she's gone to Cuba, and she went with me to Folk Alliance a few years ago to Kansas City, just like not slowing down and knowing that she's got to keep embracing new experiences, which is awesome, particularly because since her favorite time was the 50s and early 60s, here's a hat she got in Cuba and she bought for me, a Viva la Revolution Shea hat, which I think is hilarious. And my dad, the Green Beret, who joined the army to stop the spread of communism, would probably be humorously outraged, but mostly really proud of my mom. And happy she's having adventures. And I didn't tune my guitar at all during that story because I was feeling a little emotional about it. Let's see here. So I appreciate you guys watching this. I'm going to try to do these a lot more often since, I have a 6-year-old, and we have plenty of adventures to live at home. I can't really be out on the road and touring like I used to. And that's fine because I think I miss touring, but I realize what I really miss about touring is not so much the travel and all that, but just playing a different set of songs and having like a different kind of challenge every night. I was like, well, I don't need to be on the road for that. I could just do that on Facebook. So that's kind of the idea behind me doing these more regularly. And I wanted to do some like segments, like a talk show or something. And I will. The next one I'm gonna try a segment called 60-second song story. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's me trying to explain a song in 60 seconds. So, ready? I'm gonna explain the song Eden. Alright, so did you ever think about how Adam and Eve totally didn't have a choice? Like, they're in the garden, and God comes and says, like, all your needs are met, you've got all the food you need, you're never going to get sick, you're never going to die. There's just this one thing you can never do. You can never, ever eat this fruit over there. And it's not the fruit of evil, it's not the fruit of sin necessarily, it's the fruit of the knowledge of the difference between good and evil. So, until they eat the thing, they can't possibly know that they're being bad by disobeying him. So, like, their free will is non-existent until they break God's will. So it's like biblical human myths first, catch-22. I was obsessed with this, and I wrote the song Eden, which I think kind of architecturally is my most naked and simple song, or one of my most naked, simple songs. I have 7 seconds left. When you listen to the song, listen to the bass part on the bridge. How did I do? I think I made it. Okay, so I'm going to play the song now. Hey, Anders is on. Anders played the drums on that magnificently. We went out to our friend Nick beach house. And over the course of 3 days, we arranged the songs together, and we recorded them pretty much live. And I love that about this record. It's kind of like what you're hearing is the moments of discovery and the freshness of it. It's not like we'd rehearsed them to death. And I think given the kind of openness of the emotional content of the songs, that was important to me. And Anders played just the craziest beats on the album. I love it. So thanks, Anders. I'm going to play the song now, which will not have Anders beats or Arthur Parker's bass line on the bridge.
Imagine a boy who imagines a girl. They both know how to perfectly love in their imaginary world. Then imagine a man and pretend that he's me. Though I know that there's no perfect love and that nothing is meant to be, I watched you walk through the gates like it's fate. Not a minute too soon or a minute too late, expelled for our sins. Now our love can begin. And there's so many things I've been wanting to say to the ones that we both left behind in the garden, the ones God sent away, but they can't understand. They won't forgive or agree with how we both chose in our limited time to believe in an improbability. But I know that nothing that lasts can be great without a couple of flaws and a few bad mistakes, and I'd make them again. So our love can begin. Do 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 do. If this imaginary world were like heaven on earth, I think that people would be just as bad to each other, 'cause we wouldn't know what it's worth if it wasn't so fiercely fought, if it wasn't so wickedly won. I think that we would forget all the prices we paid and why the battle had even begun. But I know that this love has been worth the wait. We're both a little bit crooked and a little bit straight, but I'm willing to bend in the end so our love can begin. Now that we've both been set free to create some kind of imperfect paradise with this clean slate, then please come take my hand. My love, let's begin. Do 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 do.
All right, what am I going to do next? Let's see. Anders is saying, I channeled the drums. Oh, good. I'm so glad. James Lowe, what's up, man? Anders, thanks for channeling the drums. And I was also talking earlier about you guys recording like an album of my stuff pretty much without me there and with very little input by me, which was the whole point. That's not an insult. That's what it was supposed to be. And I just want to say thanks. I love you guys for doing that, and it's so cool to hear all the stuff you record. And it's like a surprise, and most of it didn't come out of my own head, which makes it very fun. Oh, yeah. All right, I'll do another song. I'll do another song from that record. And Anders, if you're still watching, you need to channel the drum fill on this. Yum. Same as the first part of the song. That's what you do when you have no more ideas. You just repeat everything.
I cried it out, your better nature. I couldn't outright break your heart. I couldn't leave you or forsake you, so I waited till you fell apart. But now that I'm on your side again, do you think we can still be friends? Now that we've made amends, do you remember when you were mine? Baby, love doesn't have to end. Sometimes I wanna go where I'm anonymous, with no one that we know call upon us, and goodbye and hello are synonymous. Well, I wanna go there, I wanna go there. I wanna go where I'm anonymous, with no one that we know call upon us, and goodbye and hello are synonymous. Well, I wanna go there, I wanna go there. I wanna go where I'm anonymous, with no one that we know call upon us, and goodbye and hello are synonymous. Well, I wanna go there, I wanna go there. I wanna go where I'm anonymous, with no one that we know call upon us, and goodbye and My sweet Lord, ooh, my Lord, my sweet Lord, ooh, my Lord. Really wanna see you, really wanna be with you, really wanna see you, Lord. It takes so long, my Lord. Ooh, my Lord, my sweet Lord. Ooh, my Lord, I really wanna know you, really wanna go with you, really wanna show you, Lord, that it won't take long, my Lord. Ooh, my Lord, my sweet Lord. Ooh, my Lord.
Cool. So I say this every time I'm on here. I probably sound like I burn some sage. Hey, thanks, James. So I say this every time I'm on Facebook Live for the past few months, but you can get that CD for free. Here's how to do it. Ready? I'm going to show you with a little digital advertisement. There it is. So you just pay shipping and handling, and I will sign a copy, put it in the mail to you. I'll include some posters and a note that has a bunch of extra info about the recording of the record, which, as I said, is like a super special, pretty vulnerable album for me, and so I wanted to say a lot about it. So I did, and I'll send all that to you for free-ish. You just help me with the shipping and handling. Go to go.chrisrobley.com, like it says in the ad. What does that lead me to? Oh, I'm going to try another segment. I'm going to do another segment. It's my show. I can do what I want. So, I'm under no illusion that people love poetry. Most people are indifferent to it. Lots of people hate it. A few people absolutely love it. I love it. I write poetry, although I haven't written in a while because a lot of songs have been coming to me. So I wanted to do a segment on this thing where I just read a short poem and not test your patience with some epic. But this is a poem that was written quite a long time ago, but stuck with me. And actually, when I wrote my song, Straight White Male, I stole a bunch of stuff from this, which is appropriate because the song is partially about debts of various kinds. Okay, so it's called Men at 40 by Donald Justice. Men at 40 learn to close softly the doors to rooms they will not be coming back to. At rest on a stair landing, they feel it moving beneath them now, like the deck of a ship, though the swell is gentle. And deep in mirrors, they rediscover the face of the boy as he practices tying his father's tie there in secret, and the face of that father still warm with the mystery of lather. They are more fathers than sons themselves now. Something is filling them, something that is like the twilight sound of the crickets, immense, filling the woods at the foot of the slope behind their mortgaged houses. I love that poem so very much. And like I said, I kind of stole a lot of it. I stole the crickets, the mortgage, suburbia. I mean, I think that it's a kind of generous poem of his where he's like he's feeling it, you know, he's feeling mortality and responsibility and all that stuff, and that's all well and good. But I think, like, given so much of current history, I just read so much more menace into it. Or I don't know, he didn't intend that, but sort of like what he described as like this shell of like mid-20th century masculinity, and like the burden of responsibility is also this thing that like men don't want to ever give up because it's also the source of their identity and all this stuff. And when that's challenged, a bunch of shit happens. And so when I was watching the Brett Kavanaugh hearings, for some reason this poem kept coming back to me, and I kind of linked the two things together. My outrage about the way that our national legislature was paying lip service to caring about this woman who, you know, at least for a brief time ruined her life in order to tell presumably the truth. I have no reason to doubt what she's saying is you know, as factual as she herself admitted her recollection could be. And anyways, not to preach to you, but I was pissed that all these white guys were pretending to listen, and then even calling her credible, and then like, whatever, let's just get this guy in without further investigation. You know the story. I was pissed, so I wrote this song called Straight White Male. And let's see if I should tune again. And while I do, hey, Christian, speak up, Chris. Okay. I guess my what I'm saying is not loud enough. This is a work in progress, so I will try to figure that out. This is your moment of Zen. Meditate to yourself for about 30 seconds while I tune. Light out the end of your cul-de-sac, where the crickets rub their legs in the woods out back, and the dark like death stretches on. Can't tell what's the woods, what's your lawn. Straight white male. Did your straight white dad tell you, hey kid, you dare not fail? 'Cause a measure of a real man's in his hands. Oh, ain't that right, white American man? You put an angel up at the top of your Christmas tree, and it shines a little cheery light for all your kids and wife to see. When the house falls asleep, you unplug that wire, leave it on too long, you know
it'll start a fire. Straight white male, like the big fat head of the old snake who eats his tail. Oh, the only thing you understand's the only thing you understand. Oh, ain't that right, white American man? Straight white male. Oh, your rising tide is useless if the wind doesn't fill all sails. But you better bail a leaky boat and never lose sight of land. Oh, ain't that right, white American man? There's a street light out at the end of your mortgaged lawn. Somewhere across town, lights are coming on.
Yeah, you were quiet talking. Oh, okay. Hopefully when I sing it was better. Maybe it's you. Might be. I'm using the TC Helicon. It's the Voice Live 3 Extreme. It's this pedal about this big. It's on the floor, and I put my voice through it and my guitar, which is doing all the harmony stuff, and then that goes straight into my computer to OBS Studio, which is a free live streaming software. And so far I'm digging it. And I'll do a cover song that my daughter thinks is the greatest song on the radio.
Keep pushing forwards, but he keeps pulling me backwards. Doing it wrong, nowhere to turn. Now I'm standing back from it. I finally see the pattern. Well, I'll never learn, I'll never learn. My love, she makes me feel like nobody else, nobody else. One, to pick up the phone, you know he's only calling cause he's drunk and alone. Two, don't let him in, you have to kick him out again. Three, don't be his friend, you know you're gonna wake up in his bed in the morning. And if you're under him, you ain't getting over him. I've got new rules, I've count 'em. I got new rules, I count 'em. I've gotta tell them to myself. I've got new rules, I count 'em. I've got to tell them to myself. Tell them to myself. Practice makes perfect. I'm still trying to learn it by heart. Eat, sleep and breathe it, rehearse and repeat it, 'cause I got new rules. I've got new rules. I got new rules. I've got new rules. Got new rules. Pick up the phone, you know he's only calling cause he's drunk and alone. Two, don't let him in, you have to kick him out again. Three, don't be his friend, you know you're gonna wake up in his bed in the morning. And if you're under him, well, you ain't getting over him. I've got the rules I count. I've got new rules, I count 'em. I've gotta tell them to myself. I've got new rules, I count 'em.
All right, thanks for humoring me with the weirdness. What am I gonna do now? Let's see. Besides sweat. Almost as important as the guitar. Why put a winter hat on when I'm sweating? Branding. Let's see. What was I going to do now? I did new rules. Oh. Yeah. I'm going to do a new song of mine.
There's a hole in heaven's ballroom floor. One minute God was dancing, the next he was gone. Tells you what he fell through, not what we fell for. There's a hole in heaven's ballroom floor. I was traveling on the road that led to you. I was traveling on the road that led to you. But back a ways it split. Without warning, I submit. Now I don't know where I'm headed to. There's a hole in heaven's ballroom floor. One minute God was dancing, the next he was gone. Tells you what he fell through, not what we fell for. There's a hole in heaven's ballroom floor. There is one thing that a compass doesn't do. If any magnet makes the needle want to move. But there's a difference between wandering and what you wander through. And just because you trust don't mean it's true. Faith's a bomb in the mailbox, a snake in the grass, a blanket with smallpox, a plane that goes crash. And everyone's down here still kissing his ass. And what for? Should we live off the light through the cracks in his floor? There's a hole in heaven's ballroom floor. One minute God was dancing, the next he was gone. Tells you what he fell through, not what we fell for. There's a hole in heaven's ballroom floor. Tells you what he fell through, not what we fell for. There's a hole in heaven's ballroom floor.
Thanks. Thanks, Christian. I'm going to do one more segment and one more song, and then I think I'll be done for today's broadcast. And I'm going to try my best to do every Tuesday and Thursday around lunchtime, which I suppose is between like 11 and 2-ish Eastern. And then eventually, when I figure out what works, I'll get consistent at it. But the last little segment I want to do is called Lyrics in the Limelight. So Lyrics in the Limelight is a playlist I put together on Spotify just with all songs that I absolutely adore the lyrics from. And it's mostly Americana and folk and some indie pop stuff, but there's a little bit of hip-hop, a little bit of more experimental stuff, a few like modern pop songs. But yeah, I wanted to at least like highlight one song that I'm obsessed with each time I do one of these, and hopefully you'll go and listen to it. And today's song is New York Morning by Elbow. And Elbow is like a kind of a Brit rock band that their first album came out like in the early 2000s, and I went to this little club called Burbati's Pan in Portland, Oregon on probably one of their very first U.S. tours, and saw them with like 20 other people. It was amazing. Like they, you know, I'm sure they were bummed there wasn't a ton of people there, but I couldn't tell. It was super emotional. Great show. And then, you know, like now they're like playing Glastonbury and Giant. Yeah, so the song New York Morning, it's really unconventional lyrically. It's not very tightly structured. There's not a lot of rhyme. There's a lot of internal rhyme. But like the way that the song unfolds, or that the lyrics unfold, is very much reflective of the topic of the song, which is how cities grow on top of themselves, kind of like just sticking Legos or like a drip castle or something. And like It's a kind of scattershot but amazing, huge human endeavor. And I think all of that ultimately in the song is a metaphor for human endeavor itself, and how kind of the discoveries and achievements of any one of us should benefit all of us, and we should, keep growing as a species. And this sounds pretty pretentious. This song's not nearly this pretentious. But also, I think, like, a lot of people could read into this song some cynicism, and, that it's all just a joke, and, like, we're fucked, and people are isolated. Like, you could read it that way, but I honestly think the songwriter for Elbow was very sincere. I think he's super, or at least in the context of this song, very optimistic, and sees cities and people as both isolated and part of this huge thing that mirrors itself and can bring out the best in us. And I love that. And in the middle of the song, this piano line comes in that is really, like, staggered in this weird way, and it totally, again, like, mimics what it's talking about. It's like almost like a skyline that is all angular and not uniform. So that's really cool. And then the part of the song that totally breaks my heart in the best way is this line where he says, "It's the modern Rome," talking about New York. "It's the modern Rome where folk are nice to Yoko," presumably Yoko Ono, who is this person, if you buy into all this popular Beatles lore, is like the person who broke up the band and, like, the last nail in the coffin of that group. And it's completely, or at least almost entirely not fair. And but sexism endures, I guess. And she has to care. I don't know if she cares. Probably doesn't give a shit. But a lot of people blame Yoko. Like, it's like a punchline. Like, don't be the Yoko of your boyfriend's band or whatever. And I love the idea that he knows that, and he knows that Yoko as a figure has all this baggage. But in New York, which she, I think, is kind of claimed as her town, like, it's a place where you can leave your baggage, or at least redefine yourself, or let other people let themselves redefine you or forgive you or whatever. And, like, there's a process of rediscovery and growth, which is just like the city growing on top of itself. Anyways, I probably talked as long as the song is and told you way too much about it, but I'm going to try and play it because I love it. And it's a long, epic, big Brit rock climber of a song. This will not be. This will be the folk version.
Truth in words binds the world in a feeling all familiar, and everybody owns the great ideas. Feels like there's a big one round the corner, antenna up and out into New York. Somewhere in all that talk is all the answers. And oh, my giddy Aunt New York can talk. It's the modern Rome where folk are nice to Yoko. Every bone of rivet steel, each cornerstone and angle, Jenga juts and rusty water tower, pillar post and sign. Every painted line and battered laddered building in this town sings a life of proud endeavor and the best that man could be. Me, I see a city and I hear a million voices planning, drilling, welding, carrying their fingers to the nub, reaching down into to the ground, stretching up into the sky. Why? Because they can. They didn't do so. You and I could live together. Oh my God, New York can talk. Somewhere in all that talk is all the answers. Everybody owns the great ideas, and it feels like there's a big one round the corner. Oh my God, New York can talk. And all that talk is all the answers. And everybody owns the great ideas, and it feels like there's a big one around the corner. Oh my God, New York can talk. Somewhere in all that talk is all the answers. Everybody owns the great ideas, and it feels like there's a big one around the corner. The design of a patchwork symphony, the design like a distant storm. For love, did it come? Feels like there's a big one round the corner. The design in a patchwork symphony, the design like a distant storm. For love, did it come of me? 'Cause it feels like there's a big one round the corner. The day begins, decides the shade of everything. But the way it ends depends on if you're home. For every soul, a pillow at a window, please. In the modern Rome, where folk are nice to Yoko.
All right, that was New York Morning by Elbow. Brad saying it was Alan Klein. What am I missing? Did someone else write that song? Who's Alan Klein? Why am I not getting the reference? Clearly I have a gap, several million gaps in my brain. So yeah, I'll just do like a little quick news thing to tell you again that you can get The Great Make Believer for free. Act now, Sunday. No, just help me with the shipping and handling cost. Go to go.chrisrowley.com. Handle the shipping and handling costs, and I'll sign it. I'll send it to you with a couple posters and a letter with a bunch of kind of information that feels special to me about a record that feels special to me, and I would love you to have it. So do that. If you don't have The Great Make Believer, please go to go.chrisrowley.com and get it. And again, like, I want to do this a lot more, so if you have requests, I know I owe Brad, what do I owe you? Waterloo Sunset. And I owe Stuart Ashes to Ashes and a couple of my songs. Yeah, leave them in the comments. I would love to know what I should try to learn. And I'll see you Tuesday. All right. Thanks. And just because I can, switching the angles, and then done.